Welcome back everyone, this is episode 4 of Redstoning with Steve, and today I prepared a nice open flat area, and we're going to be going over what I like to refer to as redstone sequencing. And if you don't know what I'm going on about there, don't worry, all will be explained in this short, hopefully around 10-minute block, and we're going to jump straight into it right now. So redstone sequencing, what is that, you may ask? Well, it's kind of a term I've just come up with. It's just what I refer to it as. It's not by no means an official term, but it's basically what I refer to as using the output of a block before to input the next block. So I'm going to set up a simple test just to kind of show you. We're going to have 3 redstone lamps, alright? I need an input, of course. Of course I'm not prepared. That's our input, and we want to power these redstone lamps. We want this one to come on first, followed by this one, followed by this one. Now, that's pretty easy. I mean, you can just run output to here, and you can have this on a... I've got 2 repeaters for some reason. Do it like this. That's a 2 delay. That's a 3 delay. 1, 2, 3 delay. Very easy. Hit the button, and you can see 1, 2, 3 all come on in sequence. Very easy. However, using a redstone sequencing method, this can be much more compact and much simpler. And basically that's what redstone sequencing kind of does. It makes the circuit much more simpler and much more compact. This time we're going to take the input here. We're going to do this, oops, this. And we hit the button, and you can see exactly the same circuit has come out of much less redstone over here. In this we've only used 3 repeaters, in this we've used 3 repeaters plus a bunch of redstone to get where we want. So it's a much easier way to do things, and this has a huge impact on some common sort of redstone circuits, most of which are very useful. Now the biggest use for redstone sequencing is in piston-based systems, most notably piston transport systems, but also stuff like doors, and in some light systems can use redstone sequencing as well. But we're going to have a look at some piston-based systems. This is a basic elevator. I'm pretty sure it was originally Etho's design. Correct me if I'm wrong, but basically I've already hooked up our first piston here. We have this. But no other pistons are hooked up yet. We have this piston pushes here, this piston pushes here, this piston pushes here, so on and so forth, up to the top. And basically we're going to, sort of as a proof of concept, we're going to redstone sequence wire this. So I have these iron blocks here for a reason. Basically what these iron blocks do, we're going to place a redstone repeater. If we have a redstone repeater here that powers this block, it will power this piston. But this block will also transmit power, which will allow us to power the next one. So we're going to go ahead and place redstone repeaters in front of all these blocks. Excuse me. And I already know that you need a 2 torch delay to the next block to power it. This is usually done through trial and error. So we're going to run it up here to here to here. 2 torches. Oh, just can't place blocks today. 2 torches. 2 torches. 2 torches. And how easy is that? So we step on this pressure plate here, and the last piston kind of glitched out there. That's just a bug, don't worry about it. But yeah, as a sort of proof of concept, this worked really well. Basically redstone sequencing, I'll go over it again, goes from this initial input to this block, goes round, 2 tick pulse, 2 tick delay, 2 tick delay, 2 tick delay, and it just redstone sequences all the way up the elevator. Very simple. And now I'll move on to something it was one of my first inventions ever in Blue World. Now this is the Minecraft Caterpillar conveyor, and this was featured in one of my first videos ever, my second video I believe. It's based on an original design by first Ether then Seth Bling, and basically what it does is these pistons fire in sequence, one torch delay after the other, to push you in a zigzag pattern out as far as you can go. The original video used pressure plates every second piston to make the wiring a little bit more compact, but in this design we're going to be doing it all purely with redstone sequencing, just for a bit of proof of concept. So we've got our pressure plate here, redstone, first piston, 0 delay, very, very simple. But what we've got next is we've got this splitting into two other inputs, this input splitting into two other inputs. This one goes to the second piston with a 1 torch delay, so we'll go there, and then that'll push us out there. However, this input also goes to the 4th piston with a 3 torch delay. Now basically what this means is we can wire each side independently of the other using this one input and splitting it. This 3rd piston will need a 2 torch delay because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The last one will need 11 delay total. So we're going to do this. It's very, very simple to do if you kind of understand the maths behind it. Goes through here. We have 1 torch delay, then 3 torch delay. So we have 1, 3, and then the next one will be 5. You can see a bit of a pattern emerging. It goes up by 2 each time. However, we can't get a 5 torch delay repeater. It only goes up to 4. So what we've got to do here, we're going to take it out here. We're going to do 3 torch delay here. Now, if we were to do this and hook it up, these two pistons would fire at exactly the same time. So what we've got to do is also add a 2 torch delay in there, because we've got 3 torch delay going to both this block and this wire. So we want the 3 torch delay to go here, and then an extra 2 to fire 2 after this piston. Now what we can do also here is we can have the 3 going to a 4 to the next piston, because this will fire with this wire again will go with this piston, which will cause this piston to fire 2 after, and will cause this piston to fire 4 after, so 2 after that. Now all we have to do, we do exactly the same thing, take it out here, except this time with a 4 delay, because that's the last repeater. So this block and this wire will fire at the same time, and then just repeat the pattern, 2, 4, and this will repeat to infinity. All you've got to remember in this is that you've got this, and then the external one, the external repeater here, the one going to power the next set of 2 repeaters, must be set to the same delay as the last repeater that's powering this block. And that's all you've got to remember. The next side is actually even easier, because you don't have to mess around with funny numbers. 2, 4, bring it out here with 4, and then 2, 4, and then bring it out here with 4, because it's the last one, and an extra 2, and that's all there is to it. So I'll just put some blocks here to make it a little better, and this should work perfectly. And you can see it pushes out to this block, works perfectly. So to finish off here, I'm also going to show you how to do light systems with the same technique. Now we've got our stylish mob grinder here, and we've also got an inbuilt light system. And of course this sort of little room can be extended. In fact, this sort of demonstration is intended for large sort of spawning rooms. We're going to close this off. And we've got mobs happily spawning in there, but say we want to be able to automatically turn mob spawning off. So we're going to use a redstone sequencing approach for this. So we're going to cover up these redstone lamps, but we can easily see where they still are. And what we're going to do, we're going to grab our lever here, oops, and alright, let's have our lever here. That's our turn off lever. So we can run this up here, up here, and we're going to split it into two different inputs. We're going to have a repeater there, run this to here, have repeaters there, and run this, and so on and so forth. And you can run this to infinity for as many lights as you have, because it's not like you'll ever lose power, because the redstone repeater is always supplying more and more power. So this is a pretty simple to follow. Whack the lights on. You now have lights inside here. And what this does, the two advantages, I should say, this has over sort of doing it any other way, is that you can extend this for as long as you want using exactly the same pattern. And also it actually helps to reduce some lag. If you have a lot of lights turning on at the same time, you'll get pretty bad lag with that, no matter what computer you use. Especially if you have a lot of lights turning on at the same time. So having them in sequence, one torch after the other, will help to reduce the lag a lot, and usually won't have any detrimental effect on the system. So yeah, so that's about all there is to it, guys. I was going for a more practical sort of episode, this one. I featured the light system, conveyor, and elevator, and these are all things you can really kind of implement into even survival worlds. And yeah, it's kind of the approach I was going for, because my first 3 episodes were quite technical. Just trying to appeal to everyone here. I know a lot of you guys like to see the more practical stuff that you can actually sort of put to use in your worlds, rather than just kind of proof of concepts like that stuff over there. Also, I got an extra little bonus feature just with some note blocks. Go check that out in the world download. And of course, there will be a world download as usual. You can see I've already glowstone ringed everything, which makes everything a little easier to see, I find. So apart from that, guys, yeah, go check out the world download. And apart from that, I'll catch you next time.